Happy Thanksgiving, Baron. What are you thankful for? Um, it was great, got to spend it with some of the fam, got to eat some really good food, got to watch some football, um, had to do a school project during it too. Yeah, I had to take pictures for a school project of Thanksgiving, weird. But anyways, yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, we do. Ooh.
Welcome to the greatest podcast on earth, Nothing Agreed. We have a great show for you tonight, so stay tuned and buckle up.
Abacadabra, razzmatazz, we're past Thanksgiving. Welcome to Nothing Agreed. We're gonna set your ears free. Baron, how are we doing? I know. I had to do like a double entendre, two different ones. Um, yes, but of course, Baron, past Thanksgiving football. We were supposed to record before Thanksgiving, but I'm a loser. So I take full responsibility. And I was gonna have my dog of the day on a Thanksgiving one, and all the dogs hit. So should we just get right into it? Yeah. No Amon-Ra hurts. That hurts the Lions. But the Packers defense, Micah Parsons, man, was all over field. Still leads the NFL in QB pressures. 2.5 sacks on the day. Was really in the backfield all the time. Jahmyr Gibbs did not have the good game he should have in order to help the Lions. James Williams, big game. But other than that, Jordan Love, man. Thanksgiving Jordan Love in Detroit is a baller every year. Toyotathon Jordan Love, baller. But Thanksgiving in Detroit, Jordan Love, I think he was it last year as well? Last year as well, he played Thanksgiving. Um, I'm pretty sure Thanksgiving Detroit, and he balled out and won. It was like a 5.5 point underdog. This year, he was a 3 point underdog and he won. So, Packers, man, they do the season sweep on the Lions. Yeah. Mhm.
All right. I think it's working. It might not have been, but in case my mic wasn't working the whole time, hey guys, welcome back to the show. We're talking about the Packers and the Lions. Basically, I was saying the Lions have some offensive struggles. Packers played a great game all around, and the Lions have struggled offensively. 0 for 7 on fourth down the last three games. Not something that they're known for. And we will admit we did kind of a run through before this, had some technical problems, so we'll re-bring up the question though. You look at the success Ben Johnson's having with the Bears, and some of the struggles the Lions are going through offensively. You think that's going to create questions over there in Detroit at the end of the season if one team's in the playoffs and the other isn't?
I think no. Look, Dan Campbell changed the culture here in Detroit. Remember that team, even with him there, remember it was so bad, and they got their first win finally, and it was a huge celebration. And now look at the Detroit Lions, NFC Championship appearances. They've got there before. He changed the whole culture. It's kind of like I did, as a soccer guy here, I changed it, or I compared it to Mikel Arteta at
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, right? Arteta on the hot seat because he hasn't won a trophy yet. He hasn't won a title, but since he changed the culture internally, they love that. They're going to give him the time. Dan Campbell's going to have that time. He revolutionized a franchise, which for 15, 20 years minimum was head coach after head coach after head coach, quarterback, which was pretty solidified, but team was never really that good. Now they have that. So they're not going to get rid of him. And I still think the Lions are going to make the playoffs, but if they don't, I think Dan Campbell's still going to stay packed. I mean, the national media will probably push something, but internally they'll be fine.
Um, I don't. Fine is not the right word. Because I mean that just gonna that I don't know. I feel like regardless, I mean I feel like those kind of questions might already start to become up. Probably not in front of like top officials or in team meetings and stuff like that, but there's definitely probably some closed door conversations of, well, did we maybe make the right choice of letting Ben Johnson go? Because I mean, it's you can't really argue. You see that he's doing more offensively with less talent than he had last year over there with the Bears. If you want to say that, some people might argue that, but I think if you look at position to position, I think the you could argue the Lions' offense is better than the Bears. But I think the biggest thing, at least the difference that I've seen from the Lions playing this year versus the Lions playing last year, is I think Ben Johnson was really good at working with Jared Goff on his strengths and how well he plays the game. Because I think you saw it in games last year, the year before, is Jared Goff might have been thrown off time or not been at his best, and they still find ways to win those games. Think of it back to the game when they played the Texans when he threw like 4 or 5 interceptions and they still
Mm-hmm.
won the game. I think the difference between that team and this team is when Jared Goff plays bad or teams find a way to throw him off, they aren't going to win the game. And that's just kind of the one thing I've noticed. I feel like Ben Johnson helped out Jared Goff a lot more than anyone really is talking about right now. And I just think that that's kind of one of the flaws that Dan Campbell has is his inability to be a great play caller. And he's kind of one of those guys. And there's lots of them out there in the NFL, but he needs good coordinators around him to be successful. So we'll see if they figure that out in the offseason. But when you lose a guy like Ben Johnson, and because I think another thing, and I'll be brief on this because it's about the Eagles, but
Mm-hmm.
when Kellen Moore went to the Saints after winning the Super Bowl, and now we're in this situation we're in, which we'll talk about later. But if the Saints were any bit competitive and like competing for the playoffs, I promise you there would be conversations about, well, why didn't we just fire Sirianni and keep Kellen Moore? So I'm just saying those conversations might start to be, or those thoughts might start brewing over there in Detroit. So fine might not be the word I would use if they miss the playoffs. That is, but it's starting to become a little evident that Dan Campbell needs some more support around him than people think.
Like we're just gonna have to say. I'm just gonna say I think he's gonna be fine. I see your point, but again, he's done this throughout. And also Lions have had some issues as well with some injuries as well. But other than that, I think they'll be fine. I think he'll be fine, and honestly, I think they'll be fine enough to make the playoffs. Um, yeah, let's jump into our
Next
our
game.
afternoon Thanksgiving bash.
Yeah, where the Chiefs came into Jerry World trying to get back on track, keep their playoff hopes alive, and that was not the case. Um, yeah, I think it's ready to say I think it's over. Chiefs season. We know we've this has been one of the biggest things we've talked about all season. Are they gonna get it together? Are they gonna be good? Quite honestly, this is probably the most anyone's ever talked about a 7-5 team in the last few years. But when you win multiple Super Bowls, that's kind of what you warrant. But yeah, after what I saw yesterday, I just cannot see this Chiefs team competing when it comes playoff time, if they even make the playoffs, that is. Because right now they're not going to make the. If the season ended right now, they would not make the playoffs. And assuming that the Steelers and the Texans both win this week, which Texans play the Colts and Steelers play the Bills, so that neither of those teams might win this week. So we'll see. But if they do, then the Steelers and the Chiefs are out of playoff spot going into Week 13. Not a great spot to be in. And yeah, you look at what you've seen from them yesterday. Bad play calling, some bad drops, not able to convert when it mattered the most. This just isn't the same Chiefs team that we've seen from years past. And yeah, I mean, this is a Cowboys offense. We know how electric and good they are, but this is also a Chiefs defense we've held to such high standard, and you wouldn't expect 31 points to get scored on Steve Spagnuolo and his guys, but that's exactly what happened yesterday. Yeah, and I just don't see a world where this Chiefs team ends back up in the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, yeah. We're gonna talk about the playoffs, though. The playoffs. You don't think they're gonna make the playoffs?
I see a world where they sneak into the 7th seed somehow, just
Yeah,
because
there we go.
there'll
After
be
hearing what I said
there's
on the
going to be
first recording.
some form of losing out. But even if they make the playoffs, they're not winning a game. They're going to be first round exits because you're assuming Colts hang on or the Patriots hang on. You're playing either one of those two at the 2 seed. I think the Patriots beat them and the Colts beat them.
I don't think the Colts beat them.
If that game was in Indianapolis last weekend, I think that
I
the
don't
Colts
know.
hang on.
Daniel Jones with a fractured fibula. We'll get to that, but whatever.
Oh, Anthony
Here's
Richardson might step up.
let me say this, by the way. We had our first recording. Barron was completely sure the Chiefs won't make it, but after my amazing argument, he said maybe there's a chance. I agree. Maybe there's a chance. Okay, because you look at the Chiefs; they have one home loss this year. It was a 3-point loss to your Philadelphia Eagles. Congratulations. Give
Who do
yourself
they
a round
still
of
have to
applause.
play at home this season?
The Texans, Sunday Night Football, the Chargers,
No, they'll win
and the
that.
Broncos. Now,
Mm,
3 very tough games, I would say.
yeah.
But Arrowhead has been very well to the Kansas City Chiefs for a long time. And I think Arrowhead's still one of the toughest places to play. Now, you look at their 2 away games where they've really struggled. They have the Tennessee Titans and the Las Vegas Raiders. And I think both of those are wins. So, you take care of business at home like you're supposed to. You get your 2 wins on the road. You still have a possibility of winning out. You still have a possibility of winning out, which would put them at 11-6, which is good enough to make the playoffs. So I think, do I have them making it? Honestly, I don't. I don't think they'll win out in the home games, but I think they could have a good shot, a under 50%, but more than 30% chance of making the playoffs if they do what they're supposed to do, which I don't know if they will, but I'm just giving a hypothetical. I'm not ready to count them out.
Yeah. It's the same kind of argument with the Bills, though. If you're good, it doesn't matter if you're great at home. I mean, this Bills team, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if they win this Sunday afternoon. On the road against the Steelers. We know their road history's been shaky, but yeah, I just haven't seen anything that's made me think this team's gonna do it again. This team has what it takes. Because if you look at it right now, take away the fact that it's coached by Andy Reid and the quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. What are they, 6-5? Have some hard road games left. The sensible person would say, yeah, this team's over. It's out of the playoffs. But in the back of your mind, you hear Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, 3-time Super Bowl winning duo, and you start to think, well, are they going to have that magic? We haven't seen it yet this season. Those one-score games, those late game plays that they always seem to find a way to make and win the game. they've been losing those this season. They haven't been making those plays. Let me pull up their record real quick so I can remember this. But yeah, their one home loss against the Eagles, that was a very instance where they had the ball on offense, down late, under 2 minutes left, and they just couldn't get anything done. Years past, that's a field goal touchdown to win the game. See you later, alligator. We're winning the Super Bowl. But this year, it just hasn't been the case. Same instance with the Cowboys yesterday. They did. I will give them credit. They got it done against the Colts, but that almost didn't happen either. Didn't get it done against the Bills. Didn't get it done against the Broncos. Didn't get it done against the Jaguars of all teams. So it's like, yeah. What are we doing? If this just doesn't feel like the same team, it's kind of funny. I don't know how much you follow like Kansas City like local football media,
Okay.
but you will never believe who they're kind of scapegoating.
Andy Reid.
Yep,
Oh wow, look at that. One guess, one right. There you go.
it's kind of crazy, but yeah, that's how they're viewing it. And I think let's start looking to the offseason. I think the Super Bowl sort of core, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, those guys are on their way out. They need to start looking for replacements in the draft, whatever that may be. And despite what everyone says, I think Patrick Mahomes needs another elite guy on offense with him now that Travis Kelce's sort of lost his step and he doesn't have Tyreek Hill anymore. I don't think that Rashee Rice, I think he's been great for them so far this season, but he's not been reliable. Obviously, the off-field problems, missing games at the beginning of the season, and the bad drops throughout the season as well. So I think they need to go find whether that's another elite tight end, an elite running back to help start the run game more, or another just elite receiver to help Patrick Mahomes out. But they need another elite playmaker on that offensive side of the ball, I think, if they want to get back to that insane or top of the AFC status. But talk about the Cowboys. We've been talking a lot about the Chiefs. That Cowboys defense has been good since the trade deadline. Quinn Williams really did change it around. I don't know how much Logan Wilson's been an impact, but I saw a lot of him yesterday, so maybe he is really doing a lot out there. But maybe it's just been the break in the coaching and getting everyone healthy because they've turned a corner since the trade deadline with this Cowboys defense. So we'll give credit where it's due. To go along with this high-powered offense, they absolutely still have a chance to make the playoffs, and they still very much have a chance to win the division as well. So,
Yeah. Well, should we jump into Sunday night football? Except for it was on the Thursday.
yep.
All right. NBC hosted Thursday night football between the Bengals and the Ravens. This was going to be my dog of the day. And I screwed myself. Bengals go into M&T Bank Stadium, get the dub. Joey, come get it back in. Walk in, take over the trap, and walk out as victors. Still technically alive in the playoff race. And the Ravens, they fall. They drop now to second in the division. The Steelers poised. They have an opportunity to crawl back up and get a victory. Baron, takeaways from this game? Because I have takeaways from this game.
I mean, I didn't really watch this game. I'll be honest.
Then
It was early night, so yeah,
I will take over the trap of this game. Then
go for it.
I still think the Ravens have a lot of issues, man. They got a lot of issues, and honestly, I am still a Harbaugh out guy. I'm still a Harbaugh out guy. And I'll keep it that way. I know it's one loss. They went on a big win streak. I don't care. I'm still a Harbaugh out guy. You can hold me to that. I'll make a whole video on it. But this Bengals team, if Joe Burrow was in there, I think could possibly be leading the division. You look at some of those losses, man. You look at some of those losses. I just don't think it happens with Joey B there. And this team is one of the worst defenses in the league. Hot take as well. You think Joe Burrow might request a trade?
Well, I've
I
heard.
think there's less than a 10% chance.
So this is what I was gonna say because I've heard from some guys that I know that there's some internal reports that there's sort of a mutual sort of wanting out from both parties. meaning the
Ooh.
Bengals, for whatever reason, felt satisfied from what they saw from a guy like Joe Flacco in the last few
Mhm.
weeks that they're like, well, maybe instead of getting rid of these star receivers, we should get rid of our very expensive quarterback to rebuild the defense and then just let some bum come in and do it. Because if Joe Flacco can do it at this age, then clearly anyone can. And I was going to say after last night, if I'm the Bengals organization, I would put all those thoughts to bed because clearly Joe Burrow is a guy that you want on your team.
Mhm.
Sorry, D. Higgins, you're probably out. But if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm 1,000% requesting a trade. You just look at the organization you play for; they're not competent at all. If the last couple of off seasons haven't proven that to you, I don't know what else is going to. If, in all honesty, but yeah, if I'm Joe Burrow, I want out of this organization immediately because I want to go somewhere that's gonna treat me right, that's gonna
Atlanta.
build. Yeah, honestly, Atlanta would be great for him. Someone that's gonna build around him properly and that's gonna treat him right. And yeah, because yeah, this Bengals organization is a joke. It's been a joke since its existence. They haven't really done anything ever. The only like cool thing they've ever done is go to a Super Bowl, and they somehow ruined the team that did that. So yeah, not a lot. Yeah, if I'm Joe Burrow, I want out of there immediately. And I
Yeah,
do think he requests a trade. I do think that's something that happens this offseason.
yeah. Anyways, um, had to bring that up pretty quick. Jamar had a pretty good game.
Who's
Derrick
also
Henry
going to
had a
request a
touchdown.
trade, I think.
Yeah, I think the Bengals honestly could be in peril.
I think it's getting blown up this offseason because
Yeah,
I think Jamar Chase is I think he's more likely to request a trade first, gonna get traded, and that's when Joe Burrow's like, all right, there's nothing for me here.
yeah. Anyways, should we jump into the future
I was gonna
of
talk
the
about
game?
you don't want to talk about the Ravens.
Honestly, I don't. I don't have much to talk about with the Ravens. I feel
You
like
don't
this
have
team.
anything to say about Lamar Jackson.
It's a bad game,
It's
but
been a
I
bad
still think
stretch of games.
I still think this Ravens team is the division winners.
Um, we have to see. I have to wait and see if how the Steelers play against the Bills.
Fair.
If they can show something to me against the Bills, then I might jump back on the Steelers train. But I'm off the Ravens train after last night. I didn't even
I'm
watch
not
the
off
game,
the
but I
Ravens
woke
train.
up 5 turnovers to this Bengals defense. I'm out on you. Like
Correct.
to
Five
me,
turnovers.
to me,
Not
this
good.
Bengals defense is the litmus test. If you perform well against them, good with me. If you shit the bed, I have no faith in you. And John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson, I'm sorry, I don't have any faith in you this season. Might be time to shut her down. Even if you win the division, you're just gonna get curb
I'm.
stomp. You're gonna get curb stomp. I don't know though, because if the Bills are the fifth seed, they're gonna be bad too. Yeah. AFC, you ready for this? AFC is going to be bad this season, and the NFC playoffs are going to be good. We're going to get a whole 180.
Usually is the opposite. Yeah. Anyways, the AFC always feels like the Eastern Conference of the NBA, and the AFC always feels like the Western Conference, maybe because it's the red and blue.
Not
But it
this
feels like
season.
a swap this year. Yeah.
Not this
Um.
season.
Yeah. Anyways, let's indulge now because I don't have much to say. I think the Ravens are still going to win the division. Let's indulge now into the future, Baron. Let's take
Mm-hmm.
on. First of all, should we jump? Should we say this one for first or last? Jump into the game today.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Well, it's the next game, so might as well just do it.
Let's might as well just do it. Bears
Yeah.
take on the Eagles. 7-point favorites, Philadelphia.
God.
Baron, your Eagles could hopefully give you a little discount treat on a W.
Oh, if we lose this game, I'm done. I'm
Really?
I'm out on the season.
You're playing. Remember, you're playing an 8-3
Yeah,
Bears.
I know.
Good football team that wins
I know.
football games.
I know. This is a game. To me, this is a game you win if you want to win a Super Bowl. If you can't win this game, then it's over. Especially if I see some bullshit about like 10 point. If we only score 10 points, how especially be done after that. But again, I don't think anyone in the greater Philadelphia area has any faith or confidence in Kevin Patullo at this point. It's all just, can you just not ruin it that badly at this point? Because we all know nothing's changing at this point.
Yeah.
I'd honestly maybe prefer a collapse because then at least he will guaranteed to get fired. Um, so yeah, I really don't know what I want from this game, to be honest. I'm just gonna watch it and go from there.
All right. Um, I might personally myself, I do have the Philadelphia Eagles win this game. I was thinking, um, this isn't me trying to flex, but I was at the gym. I was thinking about this game,
Hmm.
and I was like, the Bears are just winning games weirdly, right? They just win weird games, and it feels like the like a Packers like NFC where I'm like, I don't think they're that good, but their record symbolizes they're that good, and they get the job done. But Lincoln Financial's something else,
So let's
man.
say you want to talk about a home team. The
Lincoln
Eagles
Financial.
are 4-1 at home. They've beaten the Cowboys, the Rams, the Giants, the Lions at home.
And they lost to the Broncos at home.
Yeah, and they lost to the Broncos. So yeah, pretty solid home
And
resume.
I'm gonna
But
take the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game.
yeah, I mean I would too.
Oh, he would too.
But
He would too.
yeah, I mean I don't know. This offensive line's injured. It's banged up, and it, someone's got to say it. Saquon Barkley is not the same player from last season. Um, yeah, I'm so dead serious.
What about the O line?
Tank Bigsby's been doing more with that O line than Saquon Barkley
Okay.
has.
Okay.
Um, Madden curse. Um, maybe that's it. Maybe it's the fact that he had an extended season, had to play like 4 or 5 extra games. Then got a shorter off season, but he's clearly taken a step back from where he was last season. His vision is he's not seeing the field the same way. He's not reacting the same way. He doesn't seem to be as quick or as shifty. So yes, my one suggestion offensively is to give Tank Bigsby more carries. Let Saquon Barkley kind of rest until the playoffs when we might need him because I think he's being overworked. And defensively, don't change anything. That side of the ball is great.
All right. Let's get into Sunday games. Um, should we just jump? Which game do you want to start with? You usually has a list, so
All right. Not going to be too much of a game here. 49ers Browns. 49ers are favored on the road by 4.5 points.
you think this may not be a game, but I think the Browns defense could make this a game, man. I think the Browns defense can make the game. It depends who starts. If Mac Jones starts, why do I like the Niners more? Because Brock Purdy sucked
They
on
both
Monday Night
suck.
Football.
But I
I'm
think
taking
it's
the
going to
Niners.
ultimately come down to how much is Shadur Sanders going to suck or not
Yeah,
suck in this case.
and I'm gonna take
Um,
the Niners.
yeah, I think I would too. But
Um,
yeah, you never know. That does seem like a trap game for sure.
walk over your trap. Take over your trap.
All right, let's put that to rest. Next we got the Jaguars and the Titans.
Give me the Jags. Give me the Jags as a cover too. Um,
5.5. Yeah, that's probably fair.
Give me the Jags to move to 8 wins and 4 losses this season. Who would have predicted that one? 8-4 for the Duval Jags.
Hmm.
Come on now.
And this next game makes that division a lot more interesting, especially if the Texans upset the Colts.
And I kind of like the Texans in this game.
I think
Um,
I'm gonna go with the Colts.
I
Mac
kind of
Jones
like
is Mac Jones been ruled out yet, or
no,
Daniel
because he plays
Jones?
for the
Sorry.
Niners. Daniel Jones is going to play through it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how he goes.
And with that pass rush, mate, mate,
Yeah.
Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson, if you get beat on the edge, you just have to fall down because you have a fractured fibula.
But that Colts offensive line is top 5 for a reason. They've been the whole reason they've been winning games is because of that offensive line. Daniel Jones protects the football and is getting rid of it fast. I think the Colts will be just fine because the
Okay.
Texas defense got worried about Jonathan Taylor as well. So
Ooh.
I'm gonna take the Colts. But oh boy, we got another Dookie Bowl. Shit
Same.
versus ass. Saints versus the
Yep.
Dolphins.
I've been going back and forth on this one to be honest.
Hmm.
Kind of like that 5.5.
I think I do too.
But it's the Dolphins at home. It's the Dolphins at home. The
It's
Dolphins at
not.
home
It's
are.
not warm though.
Is it not warm? Mate,
No,
it's Miami. What's the
doesn't matter.
temperature?
It's probably like in the 60s.
That's warm. That's
Yeah.
over 45 degrees, and we know how Tua does in 45
Well,
degree
that's
weather.
true, but that's chilly in Miami.
That's fine. That's a good day in San Diego right there. I'm gonna take. I just can't pick the Aints, so give me the Dolphins.
All right, fair enough. Falcons, Jets.
Um, Kirk Cousins is gonna walk in your trap and take over your trap.
Oh boy.
And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Did you watch? Okay, of course you did. But the Chiefs Cowboys game, they had a in the hunt uh graphic, and
Yeah, I
the
did.
Falcons were in the hunt. We're still in the playoffs, baby. Falcons moved to 5-7, and they continue their playoff push.
Oh, you know what I think it's funny though?
Hmm.
You know how the Titans are the only team that only has one win?
Yeah,
So the New York Giants have 2 wins, but they have
correct.
been eliminated from playoff contention, and the Vikings and the Titans have not. I just think that's really funny.
AFC baby.
But yeah, yeah, I think the Falcons are gonna win.
Titans will be eliminated on Sunday.
Tyrod Taylor sucks. But yeah, go start a family, dude. Let's move on.
Probably has a family already.
Yeah, probably exactly. Well, the Panthers' road success or the Panthers' home success is really going to be put to the test this week. So they got to play the Rams.
Rams by a billion.
Tell me why I
Bryce
like
Young.
Bryce
Bryce Young is playing.
Young.
Bryce Young is playing a team not from Atlanta. Rams by a billion.
All right, we got the Cardinals and Buccaneers next.
Why are the Bucks only 3-point favorites? Well, Baker Mayfield, a little shaken up.
Mm-hmm.
That whole team kind of shaken up. I'm still gonna take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a lot of faith in the Cardinals anymore.
Yeah.
Had some hype there at the beginning of the season, but it's kind
Nope.
of fizzled out.
Jacoby the Goat. Jacoby Brissett. Jersey in Canton, Ohio.
It's true. Down in Tampa Bay too. I think the Buccaneers are gonna hold
Yeah.
on to that one. But oh boy, who's even gonna start for the Vikings at quarterback while they take on the Seahawks?
Whoa. 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 Can I tell you something?
Hmm.
I personally know who the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings will be. Max Brosmer, first of all, my goat, elementary and middle school legend. Okay, knew him. Really good friends with his brother as well, actually. Max Brosmer will be starting for the Vikings, and I will be riding the Vikings train just for the friend at heart. Max Brosmer goes into Seattle and he takes over the trap of Seattle. Give me the Minnesota Vikings to win.
That's a nice story, but it doesn't mean anything. Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba. This is a freebie. There's a reason they're 11.5 point favorites. So sorry to your bud, but it's gonna not be good.
You realize the Max Brosmer train is running through Seattle.
We'll see. We'll see. I hope so. I
Minnesota
hope so.
Gophers legend.
I hope
Okay.
so. But all right. Raiders Chargers.
Chargers.
Next.
The Raiders are playing football. I'm taking the other team.
Yeah. I feel like every week we're in a competition of which team is the worst team in the league.
The Raiders beat the Titans earlier this year, right?
Yeah. The Raiders
one of
beat the
their wins.
Patriots in week one.
Yeah.
In week one.
That is so crazy. Think about that. That is crazy
Yeah.
now. Give me the team that's just playing against the Raiders. That's all you have to say. Raiders and then insert other team. I'm taking insert other team.
Yeah, it's basically Chargers versus terrorists. Let's move on. Bills versus Steelers. No, this is a good one.
This is in Acrisure, in Heinz Field, actually.
Not
Give
anymore.
me
They blew it up.
the Pittsburgh Steelers to lose. Give me the Buffalo Bills. I'm gonna take the I'm gonna take the Bills. I like Josh Allen this game. Haley Steinfeld revenge. Just had the jersey retired. Gonna be a tough game, but Bills fans travel well,
They do.
and so
And it's not that far.
they might exactly they might take a little bit not over, but they might help a little bit with that
They
noise.
will not take over.
They might help a little bit with that noise. Give me the Buffalo Billies.
Um, Bills fans travel well, but I still would not be surprised if I didn't see any blue on that broadcast. So yeah, is Aaron Rodgers playing? I would assume he is.
I think so. I think he's
Okay,
coming back and playing.
yeah,
Yep.
I think I might take the Steelers here. I think I might like them
Ooh.
at home. DK Metcalf's got to get going. He's been having a very on and off season, but if they can get that passing game going, which we know they can, that Bills defense is nothing to write home about. So yeah, see what happens. And
There you
finally,
go.
to wrap it all up with a nice little bow for Sunday fun day, Broncos Commanders
Broncos,
in the
Commanders.
capital for Thanksgiving weekend.
Give me the Broncos. Give me them to win. Give me the defense to play well. Give me Denver.
Is Jane Daniels playing this game?
I heard he might be actually,
I
and
think
that
he
gives
might
me
be.
right now. My stats say Marcus Mariota.
All right.
Um,
I still think the Broncos win regardless, but
he's expected to miss the game.
okay.
All right, give me the Broncos.
Yeah, that's fair. And then we'll talk about this lovely Monday night football game on Monday.
Yeah, we will.
When
Lovely
we
not.
reconvene.
Guess what time it is?
Your favorite time of the week.
3:30. The Dogs will be playing a rivalry game against Georgia Tech. Oh, 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 oh. But the only dog right now on this Friday is Dog of the Day. Brought to you by We're Still Looking for a Sponsor.
Georgia
Now,
plays today.
they do.
Cool.
And Texas plays Texas A&M at 7:30. Now,
Cool.
Bears, 7-point underdogs, but I'm not going to be touching that. Vikings, I said they'd win, but I'm just riding the Max Bros or hype train. Am I confident enough to put my dog of the day? No. I am going to take the Houston Texans to walk into Indianapolis and beat the Indianapolis Colts, 3.5-point favorites. I think they're really going to hone on the run game, which is going to make Daniel Jones pass off an injured leg. Will Anderson Jr. is going to be in the backfield. Give me the Texans plus 3.5. Also, I had to say this. Updated scoreboard. Baron, you hit a 4-point dog in the Browns. That
Yep.
puts you up to 12.5. And I am still down at 6 flat. So I need some wins. I'm gonna take the 3.5. Try to go to 9.5. I'm gonna take the Texies to beat the Colts.
Oh, you have no idea how badly I want to pick the Bears.
Do it then.
I might. I think I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Ooh, I thought that's what you were gonna go with too. The Aints, huh?
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Tyler Schott. I think that's all. I think that's all I got. And I don't believe at all in anything that Miami ever does because I think them, the Bengals, and the Jets are the three most unserious franchises in the league. Meaning
Okay,
they don't
well,
give a fuck
there you
about
go.
winning. They only care about the money.
Now, Ben Simmons likes his return to Philadelphia. Would you like want to see that?
Huh?
Ben Simmons is open to a return to Philly. Would you want to see that?
No.
That'll be another episode of Nothing Agreed. Thank you all so much for listening. And both our dog days are locked in. And peace.